Special Agent John Hartley, FBI. Been tracking your scores for a while now. Every city, every heist. Now that you've been tagged with red notices, you've become the world's most wanted criminals. And I'm the only one who can bring you in.
Where'd you get that jacket? It's a statement piece. Somewhere there's a very nude cow whispering, worth it.
Looking for something specific or just browsing?
You're under arrest.
Oh my God, read the room.
Girls will keep the secret.
You wanna arrest me?
So long the boys make a noise.
Arrest me.
I just want the egg.
Yeah.
Help me catch her, and I will help you.
Teamwork.
Live and direct, you know we get down.
Team. It feels weird in my mouth.
Hello, boys. How's it going with your partner in crime?
We're work wives. We're not work wives.
Sister wife.
We're not any kind of wives. We both know that this whole thing is going to end with you in handcuffs.
Promises.
Know you heard about me, right?
Bye-bye, Agent John Hartley.
Live and direct, you know we get down.
Yeah, let's attack it.
All right, go.
Welcome to Movie the Podcast. That's right, Movie the Podcast. It is
Faster.
third week of Kevin Costner November, and guess what? It was my birthday week, so now we got to watch a movie that I got to pick, which is Red Notice, and we made a mistake, or I made a mistake. Who knows anymore? Let's get into it. Whatever we watch this week, Sean.
Go slower. You're giving me fucking anxiety.
I was like giving the Micro Machines guy thing.
I don't like this at all.
Our birthday record is horrendous.
Mine is I'm oafing on like the last two, so
yeah.
What was
If my third birthday pick in a row is under like a net, say 5, I think I'll just throw myself from a bridge.
I think at our birthdays at this point, we got to go with like the bubble screen or the quarterback draw, like just something safe and just watch fucking Doom. Like, every time we reach for something, it is just fucking our reach exceeds our grasp.
No, hot garbage.
I can't remember. What was your birthday one, Sean? I don't.
My last one was fucking Blood of Heroes.
Oh yeah. You know, that movie sucks, but at least like we remember it and it comes up a lot. Like,
yeah, you're not gonna not forget about the Juggers.
Yeah. And mine was Turbo.
You didn't get a birthday.
Yeah.
You didn't get a birthday pick this year.
Didn't I? Oh, I picked
I mean,
you should have.
No, I picked something that like we all actually wanted to watch. It was
on theme, wasn't it?
Possibly. It was like something that had just come out or was just shit, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Well, your birthday's in September,
Suicide
right?
Squad?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was the new Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was good.
Yeah. What did I watch? I didn't watch any movies, but I'm glad Alex on here because I know he's going to boo me off the podcast because of this. I watched the Spider-Man trailer.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
I'm
abstaining.
I was watching it and I realized like I don't give like a fuck about this at all. Like at all. And I don't know if I've just become an old man or it's the movie's fault or am I out of touch? It's probably the children. Like it's just like this like weird nostalgia bait for shit that happened a year ago. It feels like.
I know you don't like movies that are just like, look at me, I'm nostalgia.
I like movies. Full stop at this point.
Damn.
No, go ahead.
No, I know, like I know that movie that that's what we should have revisited for my birthday. That Fanboys movie that I liked. That everyone was like, it's just callbacks to Star Wars, which I'll probably hate now. Which now I'll feel terrible about. But I remember that coming up. It's like it's not a movie. It's just like, hey, remember me? And I mean, I don't know if I watched the Spider-Man trailer and I was interested, but I could definitely see how it's very, hey, remember me.
Hey, remember Mysterio? Well, I'm sure Doctor Strange will turn out to be Mysterio. That's why he's that terrible Scooby-Doo line that comes up twice. But
yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, like it's just where they. I know TJ, you didn't see the trailer. Did everybody else see the trailer?
I didn't watch it.
I watched it.
Yes.
I saw plenty of memes from the trailer. So
Spoilers
I feel like I saw
for
the
the trailer? Question mark. Where it's like, fucking, what's your name? Otto Octavius. Really? No, what's your real name? Didn't they already do that joke with Doctor Strange once in a movie? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just, I think I'm just out. I'm out on superhero movies for a while until they bring something weird to the table. Like, I just can't, I couldn't be less interested. And I loved Spider-Verse, but I think we had, like, very low expectations.
Yeah.
Going to see that.
Did you not like Homecoming or Far From Home?
I didn't see the second one. I thought
Far From Home was good.
Far From Home was good.
Yeah, I thought the first one was fine. You know, but that's what it is. It's all just everything. And we'll get into this when we talk about fucking Red Tail Notice. Like, I'm just tired of movies that just feel like they've been boiled down to like appeal to every single human being on Earth. Like, like I don't want to say like a basement incel, but they've kind of like just hammered out all the rough edges of comic books that made them kind of interesting and thought-provoking, at least for these type of movies.
Well, if you hate that kind of movie, you should avoid Titan. If there's ever been a film for the masses, it's that.
Yeah, that's a real 4-quadrant banger. But
that's a film for like 55 people.
You could get all those people into a conference room at a Holiday Inn.
I don't know. Like, I don't know why I'm so burnt out on it. Like, it just, everything feels so samey.
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay, yeah, we did
well,
that.
It's like, I mean, I had like we'll get into it later, but I think maybe that same. I guess you're saying the same thing, but like it just feels safe. It's just like it's all just super safe.
Like, I don't expect them to make like fucking climax for a Marvel movie, but like, I don't know. Haven't they earned enough fucking points at this point to like try something?
Well, that's what WandaVision was like. Like, I felt like WandaVision was risky.
Well, I don't think you've seen it yet, but Shang-Chi is pretty different. Like, it's like it's just a straight up like martial arts movie. Yeah. Like with like mystical elements. Like, I felt like that was a pretty big departure. Like,
well, the biggest risk, I mean, it's not risky, but it's risky in the sense that they're betting on a character no one's heard of. But as a movie, yeah, it's very good.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I don't expect them to make Spider-Man Reign or all this other weird shit, but like, they have the capacity to.
I want them to make Spider-Man 2099.
I mean, yeah, I'd be into that. Like,
that'd be rad.
Just give me something besides this like fucking joke machine movie that I don't know. I'm just having like an old man moment. But
well, Disney owning all the properties isn't going to move the needle really in that direction.
Would it have made? Yeah, you're right for sure. But like, would it have made a difference if it was still Marvel Studios? Like,
it might have.
I doubt it.
I mean, probably not though, right? Because they want the money.
Like, don't get it twisted. I feel like I predicted like a lot of this before all that Disney shit happened on this show specifically, talking about like how homogenized these movies were gonna get. But it's like, it's really bad now. But anyway, that was it. Alec. Potato salad.
I watched two things.
One of which is right hot off the presses, right?
Yeah, you just got done. It's still sopping wet.
Yeah.
in your mind.
You gotta open it back up like a grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh,
I just finished. Actually, I watched three things. So I'm not going to talk about them because you guys are going to have to watch it in a few months.
Oh,
the thing you texted us about, or whatever. Or it was on Facebook.
It was a Facebook message, but
yeah.
I just finished Get Out for like the second or third time.
Oh,
solid
movie.
Like
that movie's excellent, and it's
we'll
a
watch
shame
that
that he couldn't
together,
follow it up.
Or me and Gogs watched it together at some point.
No, maybe at some point. I initially saw it on my own.
Yeah,
I went to an empty theater.
Ooh.
But Get Out is excellent. It's a hell of a first, or hell of a debut, right out of the gates to make something so interesting and different.
It's a shame what happened after that. Jordan Peele is Duncan Jones 2.0, I think, unfortunately.
But yeah, that movie's great. Everybody's great in it. It's really fun. I especially like all the weird white people who I don't think are actual actors, who have weird deliveries of every line they say.
Oh, they're like other people that show up there at the auction or whatever.
Yeah, the like elites or whatever you want to call them. But I don't think any of them are actors. I think they just like went to like a country club or a backwoods jamboree and grabbed white people and were like, "Hey, want to be in a movie? Here's $5 and a coupon to Bojangles."
Hell yeah. Dude, Bojangles rocks.
But yeah, that movie is excellent. And I also watched Shang-Chi, which I enjoyed a lot.
Nice. Is that what you just finished?
No, I just finished Get Out.
Just finished Get Out.
Oh, you Get Out, sorry.
I watched Shang-Chi last night, and it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Everybody's really good in it. I thought it's a fun story. It's the martial arts fighting is great. I like all the different blends of different styles of martial arts from like other movies you've seen. You have like the Crouching Tiger stuff. You have just like straight up people beating the shit out of each other.
I like that scene. I watched it this weekend too. I like that scene on the bus that was most akin to like an old boy hallway fight where he's like fighting his way back through the bus against Ivan Drago's kid, it turned out.
Oh, that's who that was? Oh shit!
Yep.
Yeah, he looked familiar. I could not.
Oh, speaking of, real quick, TJ, see if you can find. I hate keep asking you shit like this. See if you can find that Rocky IV director's cut. It supposedly came out the other day.
It's not out digitally yet. I'll as soon as I can get it, I'll put it up.
Yeah, I'm glad they took the Razor Fist design and actually gave him an actual hand and didn't have him have two razor arms, which is like the stupidest, ridiculous design.
Is Razor Fist like a villain?
Well, in the
is he an actual Marvel character? Like he's like a comic established character? I never heard of him before.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of
Daredevil comics, I think.
Ripclaw from Cyberforce.
Cyberforce.
Daredevil and I think Punisher. He's like a... But he has, in the comics, he has two razor hands. He doesn't have any normal hands.
How would he ever use the bathroom?
Forearms.
Oh, he wipes his ass with his elbows?
Yeah, he jacks off with his forearms. He just pinches it and like titty fucks his forearms.
Oh, now I know what I'm doing later tonight.
It's just a terrible idea for a character.
It's excellent. I like everybody in. I like.
Yeah. Go ahead, Al.
No, I'm done.
No, what were you saying?
Gogs.
Well, I mean, if we want to talk about Shang-Chi, it's the only thing I watched of merit, which I also really enjoyed. I like everything Alex said. Fucking this guy. Is this guy Simu Liu? I'm not familiar. Was he in other stuff? I mean, he must have been, right?
I'd never seen him before, but I thought he was great. I'm not familiar with his work.
Apparently he was in Taken. I'm just looking him up right now. I thought he was really good. I thought he was really charming. I liked Awkwafina in it. I normally don't think I care for her, but I thought she was good in it. Like Alex said, I liked all the fact you could see you could see everybody fighting. Like they pulled back. There wasn't a ton of cuts. I like that.
Yeah.
It was a blast. And I watched
that Tony Leung was really good in it. Like I thought as the villain, I thought he was great. I think he brought a lot to the movie because
the guy from the fucking John Woo movies.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And the other guy from Infernal Affairs.
Yeah.
Been in a million Hong Kong movies. Yeah, he's the villain in the movie. But he's good because he's like a good Marvel villain because he's got like dimension and he's not just like I want to destroy the world. Like there's like more to his character. and I thought that was really cool. Like, and he's essentially like the real Mandarin, which is interesting.
Yeah, so I watched that. I watched Hell Comes to Frogtown, and I watched half of Last Night in Soho. And I started watching something this afternoon, which I'm going to finish. But now I'm curious if anyone else has seen it. It's called like Last Mission to Mars or Last Day on Mars with Liev Schreiber.
Didn't we watch that on the show?
Did we? I didn't.
I feel like we watched it on the show.
The Last Days on Mars?
Or no, didn't we watch? Was it Red Planet?
We watched Ghosts of Mars.
I thought we watched some terrible Mars-related film.
We watched that fucking found footage Apollo 13 movie.
That's
Apollo 18. Yeah, we watched that.
Yeah, that was awful.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I watched? Oh, I started watching Ted Lasso now, which I really like. I gotta finish that up. I heard the second season gets darker, but I liked what I saw. I like Jason Sudeikis a lot. He's really charming and upbeat in it. It's kind of nice.
I like
Alec. You really like that show, right?
Alec. We lost Alec.
I'm assuming
Mod's asleep. Post nudes. Yeah, Alec. I remember Alec liking it. I liked the two lead British chicks because they're very hot. The one's
super tall.
The one big bitch and the little bitch. They're both hot. Misogyny, real misogyny hours here at Movie the Podcast.
That's every week with you guys.
Pretty much. But anything else, guys?
Nope, that's it, TJ.
I didn't watch anything. I was gonna watch Last Night in Soho, but I ran out of time. I watched the first 3 episodes of the live action Cowboy Bebop. It's like horrendous. They need to just never make live action adaptations of anime anymore because it just doesn't work. I think the only one that was halfway decent was the Ghost in the Shell movie that everyone hated, but actually was pretty good.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of affinity for the original?
I think it's one of the best anime series ever made. It's also
Simple Yes would have been fine.
Yes, same though, but it was also a lot of our kind of introduction to those shows on Adult Swim. You know what I mean? At least mine.
I feel like Cowboy Bebop is the anime to get. If somebody's I don't like anime. What should I watch? Watch that. Everybody likes it. It's just good. It's just
more so than Dragon Ball.
Yes, Dragon Ball. I wouldn't recommend Dragon Ball to anyone. Dragon Ball is fun, but it's hyper decompressed. It takes forever to do anything. Dragon Ball is a very young man's anime. But I wouldn't give that to a cat, somebody that's looking to get into it. Cowboy Bebop, they're 24-minute episodes. It's very digestible. It's kind of, the animation's cool, but it's not over the top and cutesy or whatever. It's cool. It's just a cool show. The music's great, but the live action, it just felt I saw Sean actually sent me a clip from the show that introduces one of the characters, Ed, who her introduction feels like something off of Nickelodeon. It's really corny and just I get the character in the show is the normal anime manic character. That's a trope in anime, and it works in anime. It when you try to translate that into live action, it just comes off as being really annoying, and it's just not good. What's his name? John Cho, is that his name? He played Sulu in the Star Trek movies.
That's correct.
I like that actor, but he's way too old to play the lead character Spike. I saw the still images and all the promo stuff months ago, and it didn't really bother me. But then watching it in motion, he doesn't work for that character at all.
He's 50, right?
Yeah, and Spike is a young man. Spike is in his 20s, and he looks really old in some of these scenes. The writing is really bad. The writing is just I don't. It felt I don't know. It felt
the bits I've seen is really weird that they changed one of the characters to be black but then lampshaded it a million times. Like, I don't know how many bases they're trying to cover with that, but it seems super awkward.
Well, it's also kind of clumsy that the one black character on the show's name is Jet Black. It's kind of like really but yeah, it's awful. Like, it's really bad. I would not recommend anyone watch it. I didn't finish it. Like I said, I watched 3 episodes of it and I turned it off. The only plus is now the anime is on Netflix too, so you can watch that. But don't ever watch the Netflix production. It's real bad. And it's one of those things where when it got announced, everybody was like, yeah, this is going to be really bad. And then they brought out some stills and you're like, it looks cool. And then it came out and it's really bad.
It's funny, like, how sci-fi can go from, like, live action to animated, like, really easily and sometimes better than the source material. Like, see a lot of the Star Wars shit. But it just never works in reverse. No. Except for that Ghost in the Shell movie, which I didn't know you saw, because me and Gogs liked it.
Yeah, I watched it.
I was surprised I liked it.
I watched it, like, a few months ago. I enjoyed it. I mean, I think that, like, I'm also not, like, super precious about the source material. Like, I read the comic. I enjoyed the comic. Then I watched the movie, and I liked the movie. But the movie and the comic are very different.
Did you read the comic with all the fuck scenes in it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had it. I had a uncensored copy of that manga. Yeah. But, like, the guy that made that, Masamune Shirow, is, like, one of my favorite, like, manga artists. And, like, it was cool. But, like, again, the animated movie and the comic are way different. So to have, like, another movie based on the original animated movie to be pretty different, I was fine with. You know what I mean? Like, you're already... Like, they've already established they're going to change a lot of shit. So it's fine. But yeah, this just doesn't work. And also, like, I don't know, like, I've seen a lot of people defending the Cowboy Bebop live action because they're like, well, they just tried to translate the anime literally into live action. But to me, it feels eerily like what Zack Snyder did with Watchmen, where, like, they're, like, slavish to make it look the same, but, like, without any of the heart or, like, what was behind it. You know what I mean? Like, it's... Like, Zack Snyder went through and, like, made it, like, panel perfect to the comic, but it's still empty as shit.
But he didn't understand the book at all.
Exactly. He didn't have any kind of, like, he didn't understand the tone or what they were going for. And the Cowboy Bebop thing is the same thing. It's like, they got the characters to look kind of right, and they got the music, and they got the original composer, but, like, it's just trash. Like, it's hollow. The one thing I want to say before I get off of it is I've seen a lot of defense of it from nerds, and I think there's just a segment of, like, nerd entertainment, and I'm not talking about the Marvel stuff. I'm talking about, like, the tier underneath, like the fucking CW shows and like a lot of that, like, lower budget, like, old sci-fi shows. Like, there's just, like, an acceptance of just, like, really corny, low budget garbage that, like, nerds will eat up and tell you it's great. And it's like, no, there's like a hierarchy, right? Like, you have Daredevil on Netflix, and then you have, like, the Flash TV show. These are not the same. They're not 1-to-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think,
does it look cheap?
It does. Oh. I think it looks very cheap. And it's directed really bad, which, like, weird cuts, and it's just not good. It's just not a very good production.
Like, why would you commission a low-budget show that takes place exclusively almost in outer space with spaceships and fucking lasers and all kinds of other crazy shit going on?
Oh, yeah. And you can tell they intentionally, like, write around a lot of that stuff because they can't afford it. Like, I think, like, the 4th episode of the anime, there's these eco-terrorists that, like, have this virus that turns people into monkeys.
Yeah.
But they change them into trees in the show because, you know, trees are cheaper than monkeys.
Yeah, I have tons of trees in my house. I have zero monkeys.
But anyway, yeah, it's
one more thing real quick about it, because, like, I saw, like, John Cho doing his, like, prep or whatever. And there's, like, a really idiosyncratic way that Spike walks, which works in a cartoon because human beings don't walk like that, and you understand that you're watching animation.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
See somebody do it in real life is, like, so immersion breaking. Like, what the fuck is he doing?
But you're absolutely right. But that hits the nail on the head, right? That is they're like so hell bent to, like, capture a certain aspect of the cartoon, but, like, that's not the important part. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
how Spike, because Japanese animation, they animate on like keyframes. There's a lot of weird stuff that they do. Like they try, like going back to that Ed clip, like a lot of anime has like these weird cuts where people are like sporadic and moving around. It's because they don't animate the full frame. They
make a walk cycle.
Yeah, they use keyframes. Animation.
Yeah.
So that's why they're like that. So like that works in a cartoon, but when you try to duplicate it with somebody moving at full, in a full frame, it just looks weird and dumb. It just looks like somebody's overacting and being silly. Like it just doesn't work. Anyway, not a fan. Don't watch. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch any movies. I will definitely watch Last Night in Soho at some point this week. So let's get into our feature presentation. Red Notice, right? Burn Notice.
Red Notice.
Anybody watch Burn Notice? That was a pretty good show.
Yeah, that guy who seemed like he was on the spectrum as the main character.
Yes.
Yes.
It was pretty good. It was like a spy show.
Yeah.
That guy was much better in season 2 of Fargo.
Yes. That's right, man.
I still gotta watch Fargo.
You do, especially season 2. That's like not the best one.
Yeah, because you guys said Patrick Wilson is even good in that, right? Like, which is insane.
He's really good.
Everybody's good in it. Patrick Wilson's good in it. Ted Danson's really good in it.
Billy Bob Thornton's really good.
I love Ted Danson.
It's
Martin Freeman is good in it.
The second season is the retelling of that incident they keep talking about from the first season that happened in the past. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And forgive me, the Fargo show has nothing to do with the movies. It's just happens in Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah, and I mean it has I would say that it feels like an homage to the Coen brothers. Like on top of it being in Fargo, like the story beats are very Coen-esque, and there's a lot of little Easter eggs to other Coen brothers movies throughout the show.
So it's in the same universe?
No. What did I just say?
No, it's an Easter egg. I don't know.
Easter. I mean, it winks and nods to their films.
It's the Marvel manga verse to the Fargo, the Coen universe.
This is the Coen's Black Tower series or Dark Tower series.
Dark Tower. Yeah. No, I mean I mean, when you watch it, you'll see little things that are like, oh, they're making a cute little nod to The Man That Wasn't There or to No Country for Old Men and stuff like that.
Also, would smash that lady that played the cop in the first season. That big lady, I forget what her name is, but she's real cute.
Yeah, and she was good. She was good in the show.
All
right,
I'll check it out.
Red Dawn. No, there's a lot of movies that start with Red.
Red Steel, Red. What was the one we watched with Swayze and he had the sword and then the sail cars? That was Red Dawn. No, well, that's Swayze.
Dawn.
Good point. Steel Dawn.
Yeah.
Steel Dawn. He loves Dawn movies.
That movie sucked. God, that movie was so bad.
That movie was bad.
Such potential.
It was so you had fucking like ninjas under the sand, and somehow you made it boring. Like, don't know how that.
Before I turned this on, for some reason, I thought we were watching the movie Red, the adaptation of that comic book.
I've never seen that. I heard that's good.
I liked that movie.
The comic's great.
I've never read
Warren
the comic
Ellis
either.
Yeah,
but I heard the movie's good.
I didn't see the second one, but the first one with what's her name from that show Weeds and then all the old men and then what's her name? International Forever British Smoke Show.
Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
The Weeds lady's another 3 named Mary, right? Like
she's like a Mary
Louise Parker, I believe.
Yeah, there we go. She either has to be like a cable actress or an assassin. Those are her options.
That show got bad.
I never watched it. I just knew
Weeds was good. Weeds was good for a long time, but towards the end, it's absolute trash.
Yeah, I never finished it. I watched it till like season 2 or 3.
Was that Showtime?
Yeah,
but there was like 8 seasons or something like that, and those last ones are just absolutely, they're absolutely terrible.
I feel like that's the way of most cable shows, if you think about it. You know what I mean? Like
you die a hero, or you live long enough to become trash.
They got rid of the best characters, and then it just followed her and her kids pretty much, and her kids are both awful actors.
Yeah, and
but like Kevin Nealon left. The woman who was her rival, I forget her name in real life, but she left. Like all the other good parts of the guy Romani.
Oh, he's the guy from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Romani Malco.
Yeah, he left. Like every good actor except for Mary Louise Parker left after season 4, and it was just terrible.
Yeah. All right, Gogs, what happened in Red Notice?
Oh, okay. All right. Movie opens. How does the movie start? It opens, and we're talking about
museum.
It starts by explaining to you what.
Is it voiceover about Is it all about Cleopatra? Eggs. Right. So she's presented. So Cleopatra, Lady of the Nile, is been presented with 3.
That Cleopatra, not Cleopatra Jones.
Yeah, not Cleopatra Jones. She is presented with 3 bespoke eggs for her birthday or her marriage or because she built a fresh pyramid or something. And everybody's hot and on fire about them, and they're like the Shankara stones, and they get scattered to the wind. And it's always been this international hunt to find them. So we open with that, and then we know we get to meet Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and an incredibly attractive Interpol lady who I don't recognize from anything else. She ever been in anything?
No,
she was in season 2 of Umbrella Academy, but I don't know what else besides that.
She's got that hot Indian British thing happening, like that ethnically Indian, nationally British. Yeah,
just a little, just you can sense the oppression. So then they're like, all right, we're going to be here because I'm the world's beefiest profiler, and we know that this guy is coming for this egg today because the bishop told me. It's like, all right, cool. So then in, I guess, a heist that happened in a previous scene off camera that doesn't make any sense, the egg is still there, and all the fucking museum people are like, ugh. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, give me your.
What were they like?
Give me your thermal iPad, and I'm going to scan the egg. And then he scans the egg.
Oh, can I pause you real quick?
Sure.
Alec, what was the movie with Shawn Michaels you were watching?
Oh, he said we're going to want to watch that later.
Oh, what was it called?
Don't tell us.
Avengers of Justice Star Farce.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm into that.
Oh,
ahead,
no. It sounds like that fucking, that Fairy Tales Avengers that we watched.
Remember Ministry of Darkness.
The good thing is I don't have to watch it again.
You son of a bitch.
You know what? I should have picked the Casino Plane that had Christian in it, or Edge.
Money Plane.
Yeah, damn it! This is what I get. Okay. Anywho, let's motor. The Rock steals a Coke from a young man in a very touching moment of product placement, and they dump it all over this egg. And I guess Coke just melts everything, including your teeth, because the egg turns into Glip Glop, and then Ryan Reynolds is like, hell yeah, and he starts trucking ass, and everybody's like, seal the room, and they seal the room with the world's slowest doors, like they're operated by what I assume is only the fucking war boys on those giant hamster wheels, because they just sort of slowly close. They close long enough to keep all the innocent people in, and the one guy who needs to get out. So now The Rock punches his way through a museum.
Real quick,
he uses
There's the one good thing that happens in this movie. There's an excellent tracking shot in this that they give up halfway through, where he's like kind of running across this catwalk thing.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
And
I actually thought this opening action sequence was.
No, the opening. I liked the opening action sequence. Like once it got underway, once the foot chase happened, I kind of enjoyed it cover to cover, and I even liked it. I even liked the button. So here's what happens: they run through the whole fucking thing. You get a smart alecky. You get what you get. You get a smart alecky. Van Wilder, who's Ryan Reynolds, and you get The Rock just kind of like bulldozing his way through things, and Ryan Reynolds is using his skinniness to his advantage, and The Rock's using his beef to his advantage. And there's a scene where Ryan Reynolds just understands how scaffoldings are assembled better than most folks, because he's just pulling out pins left, right, and center, causing people to fall to their deaths And
no, pause. This is one of my main contentions with the movie. This movie reminds me of the G.I. Joe cartoon because every person that's put in like moral danger or mortal, not moral.
We're all in moral danger.
Yeah, well, correct. Us especially, but yeah, mortal danger. They are all shown to be fine. Like they just fall and they're fine.
He-Man did the same thing. Motherfucker had a sword. He only used it on robots. Everyone else got tossed. If you go back and look, He-Man only tossed other people into mud. That's how he beat everyone.
But that's what I'm saying. Like in this movie, there's like several parts where Ryan Reynolds like opens up machine guns on people and they like jump out of the way just in time. It's like, come on.
My big contention with this movie will be, I think if there's an R-rated version of this movie, I probably would have liked it a lot more because the dialogue could have been spicier and there would have been like more cool shit that happens.
This movie feels a lot like a repurposed script for an Uncharted movie, like a lot,
or a National Treasure, or something. It needs to be more Bad Boys.
It's a better version of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Well, yeah.
I thought you were going to go Last Crusade, and that was going to be it.
I don't disagree with that at all.
No, that's 100% correct. So, they get all through this. So the button on this thing is they're jumping their way through. They destroy a man's only means of generating income, which is to sell pictures of the Pope in front of the Castle St. Angelo or whatever. Ryan Reynolds hops on a Vespa, and then The Rock jumps into a Porsche, and then you start hearing fucking sabotage. You're like, I literally groaned when that happened. I was like, oh, are you really doing this? And then he gets hit by a gelato truck, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of fun. A smash cut to Tahiti, whatever. Ryan Reynolds took a fucking Sea-Doo back to his ocean mansion, but I guess where he simultaneously keeps all the art he's stolen, but must have bought it with the money from the proceeds from the art he's stolen and is paid to keep, because I don't understand how that works. The Rock is already there. Ryan Reynolds is drinking his gin. Later, The Rock will be drinking his tequila.
I didn't even notice that.
Neither did I.
Yep. So now...
I was... pause again. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was hoping the entire time, and I know that the timing probably doesn't match up, but I was hoping they would put it in post, that we'd get to hear The Rock's rap song at some point during this movie. I was like, he turns on the car. He's like, "It's about drive. It's about power." Oh my god!
I'm gonna say something controversial by the end of this episode, so I might as well get it out right now. I think The Rock might be a touch overexposed. So moving,
I'm gonna double down on that and say I'm tired of Ryan Reynolds playing Ryan Reynolds.
I can probably concur on that one as well. It hurts a little.
I'm going to triple down on it and say I'm tired of you two slandering two of my heroes. Shut your poor mouth.
So now,
we haven't even gotten to the third star of this movie yet.
Well, I don't think that's going to be any controversial in any way.
No. So back at Ryan Reynolds' House of Thievery, The Rock's like, all right.
Baller-ass art thief pagoda?
Yes, baller-ass art thief pagoda with just glass walls and, like, zero security, where he, I don't know, hacks the internet in the memory of his dead cop dad. He's like, the egg gets confiscated. It gets put on a truck to drive off an island, and then Ryan Reynolds gets thrown in the back of a truck, and then that truck gets unbacked up and opened, and then Gal Gadot, whatever, Wonder Woman, she yanks the egg and then brings a fresh one or something because she does the old switcheroo, and then that frames up. Oh, she puts in The Rock's briefcase, and The Rock's enjoying a nice Tramana tequila at the airport bar, which is also maybe a casino. And then
she puts what in his briefcase?
The egg. This is the frame up.
She didn't frame him with the egg.
Yes, she did.
They framed him with the money.
She framed him with the fake deposit into his account for $8 million.
Well, the Interpol lady came in and opened up the bag with the fake egg. The fake egg got melted by Coke. This is the second fake egg, which the Interpol lady smashed. Wait.
Right. The real egg is not.
At some point at this bar scene, The Rock is set up.
She smashes that fake egg in this scene.
But that's the second fake egg in this scenario, because the first fake egg got melted when the real egg got stolen in front of 80 people.
Can you imagine if you're making your breakfast and you were cracking open an egg and it was just it turned to sand? You're like, oh shit, I got the fake eggs.
Then you start eating sand.
She found out he was set up because she went to call the FBI. And the
FBI was like, we never heard of you.
Had relayed it, and then she checked his bank records, and he had an $8 million deposit into his account. Right.
She unzips his bag and pulls an egg out. What is that egg?
She just has the fake egg. The real egg.
There is no the fake.
There were two fake eggs.
She has the fake egg from the truck. He doesn't have it.
I guess it was in his. Oh, she brought in her bag. And
she brought it
planted that next to.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dumb. Regardless,
there is a cottage industry of these fake Cleopatra.
There's a lot of fake. Yeah. So anyway, the Rock gets set up, and then they both get sent to Russian Alcatraz. Yeah. So they're at this Metal Gear Solid villain base on top of a mountain.
It reminded me of the prison in Black Widow. It was the same set.
Yeah. With all
I was gonna say that. I wonder how mad The Rock and Ryan Reynolds were when they saw Black Widow this summer. They stole our whole action. Yeah. They stole our whole second big action.
Well, maybe they showed up with the movie and just put a quarter down on the camera, like a pool table. Hey, we
got next.
It's they're playing fucking Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in 1998. Yeah. Real quick, the prisoner that goes to beat up The Rock, that guy seemed really familiar. I feel like he's been in some karate movies we've watched.
I mean, he's got to be a heavy in something.
How much better would it have been if it was Boyka, and it was just some weird shit?
Oh yeah,
that'd have been awesome.
Oh, who's the Boyka universe? Sign me up for the sequel, which there will be more to come. So now
this was a hugely successful.
This is phenomenally successful.
I think this is their biggest viewed movie or something.
Well, we'll get to it at the end, but I've never seen a movie more set up for a sequel in my fucking life than this movie.
It was gonna be a sequel anyway. You sliced even pre-twist. So now they're here trying to avoid getting their holes used up in prison, and the whole time Ryan Reynolds is being cheeky and The Rock's being The Rock, and then they're like, hey, the warden wants to talk to y'all, and the warden turns out to be Gal Gadot, and she's like, hey boys, I got a proposition for you. I have two. I have egg number one. Egg number two is that this guy who might be Russian, and he's sort of a weapons dealer, but he doesn't speak with a Russian accent, and he lives in Valencia, Spain.
Well, I think he's Spanish,
Let's do it.
Dog.
I thought she said it was Russian.
Well, no, I don't know. His name's Dolce Vita or something. His name.
They didn't say. I don't think they said he was Russian. They just said he was an arms dealer. You're just making that assumption.
You're just a racist.
I was just recency biasing the fact that they were in Russia. I was like, we gotta be a Russian guy. So Dolce Gabbana's got egg number two. She has egg number one. She's like, I'm going for egg number two. You know I'm the best. She fucking points at her junk. She's like, join me or die, because I know you know where the third egg is. And she's like, I'll give you 10%. And he's like, no, fuck you, bitch. And then she dips, and she jacks off the captain of the guard, and then she's gone. And
who's a better actress, Gal Gadot or the therapist from Hot Shots?
I'm gonna, you know what? It's a horse race, but I'm gonna give it to the therapist in Hot Shots. I will be 100%. I'm gonna be 100% honest. This has been my favorite Gal Gadot role to date.
Oof.
This is my favorite one.
I didn't think she was bad in this.
I didn't think she was bad in this.
Compared to Wonder Woman and Justice League, and seeing her wooden stiff acting in those, she seemed like she was having some fun, she was loosened up a little bit.
I liked her in this.
I didn't have a problem with her in this at all. This is by far my favorite role I've seen her do.
Yeah, I completely agree.
My favorite movie I've seen her in. I didn't think she was distracting with her weird accent or anything.
No, it made sense. She had I don't know, I liked her in this. I did. I was like, okay, this isn't, So then these boys get dragged off, and then Ryan Reynolds has to come up with a plan that upon further inspection, doesn't make any sense because he makes a laundry bomb out of soap and nitrous oxide.
To be fair to the fucking the movie does say that Ryan Reynolds kind of comes up with these like half-cocked ideas that shouldn't work, and they seem to always work.
He does he did like a Sherlock Holmes-esque.
He's like a long shot.
He's like a beautiful.
He's like a long shot or a domino. He because The Rock constantly says like every time he comes up with a plan, it's like the dumbest shit ever, and it seems to work out.
Yeah, they represent visually by him sticking that tiny rock in the wall of defiance of physics and God's will.
Correct. Yeah, like that comes back. That becomes Chekhov's rock. There's a lot of Chekhov's everything. Like Liz was watching. To skip to the end of the movie, which we'll get there. Like
she really love you.
When they, well, no, she was just there for a scene, just to serve me with papers, and then left. But she was there for Chekhov's Duesenberg or whatever it was, where the guy, where like Ryan Reynolds, like this thing's built like a tank. It's like they're going to use that car to escape.
Pause.
You wrecked Hitler's car.
Did everybody in this room when they saw that, they're like, did they think of the Simpsons thing? It was like that's Hitler's death car.
What did he ever do to you?
What did Hitler ever do to you, man? That's all I could, as soon as it showed it, I was like, Hitler's death car. Fucking Simpsons. Simpsons' brain has ruined me.
So they explode a laundry system. They punch, but even though they exploded the laundry system, they still punched a bunch of guards. So I guess the laundry bomb was just to tell everybody, get rowdy. And then they fucking slide their way through several layers of security. They get to the wall. They fucking pulled the thing out. They look at it like I don't know. They built this thing, I guess, on the edge of the world because it's just a sheer drop of thousands of miles. But they scoot around an edge that exists architecturally for no reason, and they work their way
around to building that wall. Anyway, it feels like that's something they should have shored up before they.
I mean, that might have been like the chucking hole that they've been throwing people out, and they're like, man, we got to patch that up before Christmas.
An old chucking hole.
Yeah. Premier Putin's coming over, and we just want to see our chucking hole. So they slide their way over to the suspension bridge, where Ryan Reynolds figures out how to fly a helicopter in Russian. He does have that cute moment where you're right. He is like a long shot because he runs and he grabs the fucking snowball and he forms it and he like yeets it and knocks the guy down and he flops his legs out.
Literally everything he does in this movie is fucking impossible.
Just works out.
He is a superhuman of some
He's like
sort,
a physics wizard on Dominic Toretto's level. So he flies this helicopter-ish thing. The Rock has a fight with the entire Red Army using just like his wits and a pistol. They get away. They just
using just his wits and a gun.
I will say though, again, I have to compliment the action scenes. I actually liked the sequence where they shoot the rocket and it goes through the helicopter.
I thought that was fun, and I was waiting for that to
cool.
I was waiting for that to cause an avalanche like fucking Black Widow that was going to bring everything that down. No, when it whipped right through the helicopter, I was like, that's cool.
I thought that was fun.
So they take the helicopter. They take the helicopter not to Spain. They take it to undisclosed airfield, where much like Black Widow, as I say it out loud, Ryan Reynolds' series of underground contacts has outfitted them with a private jet full of the dork clothes from Pulp Fiction, where they get to go
juice boxes.
Yeah, and juice boxes, and they get to go to Valencia, Spain, to go to an orgy and reenact most of the opening scene of True Lies.
Hell yeah.
And half
which I mean, hell yeah. Like, so
the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah. Yes, concurred. So then
I know you don't really believe that.
No, dude, I love True Lies. I love True Lies. I love it so much. It's got everything. It's all thriller, no filler. So they go through the whole movie is like an Ocean's 11. They go through the whole thing and they're dancing their way through tangoing and they're trying to get thumbprints, and then Interpol lady shows up and they've got they have an AI face generating iPod that can
so stupid.
Yeah, that can make you talk like a man. And then So they get through all of the various vaults.
Look like a man. I was thinking, like, he look like a man.
So they get into this guy. They sneak past all the layers of security in this fuck party. I do like the part where they just dash across the hall when the two guards are crossing. I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. They get in there. There's a really fun fight scene in this weapons jerk-off gallery.
Yeah, most of the action is fun.
Yeah, most of the action is a lot of fun.
I think the action kind of saves a lot of the movie for me. I thought the action sequences were done really, really well. Like, all of them. I enjoyed all the action sequences. It was the in-between.
But it's a lot of it's very callbacky, right? Like, this is like callbacky to True Lies. Like, all the stuff in the caverns later will be callbacky to, I guess that would be Temple of Doom.
I feel like it's also like just, I mean, action movies in and of themselves are very tropey.
Action movies just are tropey.
So it's like, yeah. And like Sean said earlier, like especially when you get into like the action set pieces, it really does feel like an Uncharted thing. Like all these felt like out of the Uncharted games, like all of them did.
So you got The Rock v. Ryan Reynolds v. Gal Gadot, whatever, in a Duel of the Fates scenario, and she just kicks a pile of ass, and then
you know what? That movie sucks, but that's the best piece of music in that entire series, like bar none.
The best thing about the Duel of the Fates is Anthony's
putting your name in it.
Yeah, the TJ, stand ball. That's really good. That should be my wrestling theme song.
And so, Gal,
it's Godot. Just say Godot, dude. It's not that hard. Godot.
Okay, so Gal Gadot steals the egg, and she jacks off the guy who's in charge of all the weapons in Spain. And then we're now
in charge of all the weapons in Spain.
So now they go. For some reason they've rented out the utility space underneath the bullfighting ring in Valencia, Spain, and that's where he likes to do his torturing. So they go on torturing, and they're trying to get the third egg location out of Ryan Reynolds. And so there's scenes where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson gets his testicles electrocuted, and then somehow this little tiny, apparently now Spanish man wraps his baby mitts around The Rock's impossibly...
Not now Spanish. You just didn't realize he was Spanish. He didn't change nationalities.
Here's the thing about how I perceive reality. Everything once I'm aware of it, that's when it happens.
So you're now like a staunch imperialist.
Weird. Based.
Nothing exists in a vacuum. Everything has to cause something.
Yeah. So now he puts on his nitrile black gloves like he's doing barbecue at Memphis in May, and he fucking throws his tiny hand around The Rock's impossibly thick neck and tries to choke him because that's what he gets off on. They figure out where the egg is. It's in Egypt. They have some celebratory champagne, but Gal Gadot has poisoned him. But not with real poison, because I don't think anyone dies in this whole movie unless it's a Batman death. Like there's people in that fucking the mine shaft chase that fucking take a face full of shite shite.
Shite? Like shit?
Like the fucking rock. The geological formation.
Oh,
shite.
Are you trying to say shale?
No, I think I was trying to say shites, but now it's been ruined.
German for shit?
Yes, it is.
Well, shit rock then. Whatever. Dude took it in the face at like 80 miles an hour. He's dead. But they're never like expressly saying he's dead. Also, well, doesn't matter. We'll keep going. So now this guy is not really dead. He's just passed out. Gal Gadot's dipped.
He's sleeping.
The Rock, Rock breaks the chains that bind, and then they get out, and now they're on their way to flashback where Ryan Reynolds explains that his dad was not only just a Swedish cop or whatever, but he was also in love with treasure hunting because he's Indiana Jones's father, and he loved treasure more than he loved his son. So now, and Nazis. So there's a Nazi watch that has latitude and longitude coordinates, and I'm pretty sure those weren't invented until like the 2000s. So do some fact checking.
Or the watch?
No, eat any of it.
Okay.
Cartography, not until like
Right,
2006.
it didn't exist till you were aware of it.
Until I was aware of it. So now they take their watch coordinates and they wander through the jungle. And I don't know if Ryan Reynolds is doing a bit, but then they find this fun Nazi bunker with a like neat little stair. And they just swastika everything out because the drip don't quit in the Third Reich. And they go down and they find the Chamber of Secrets, where the CIA has hidden all of the boxes of fun stuff, including a car, the Hitler Mobile,
the Hitler death car,
priceless works of art, all sorts of stuff. But this is where, so when Adolf Hitler's like dork art boy fled Germany, they're like, he went to Argentina with 7 tons of machine parts, which turned out to be most of this car, and then priceless works of art. So now they're there. They find the egg.
Hey, Gal
Gadot shows up. She's
and
like,
that guy turned out to be Johan Rico, grandfather of Johnny.
wow, that's a pull. This is in the fucking Starship Troopers universe.
Yeah,
hell yes. So she shows up just because we find out why. Because a lot of the time I'm in this movie, it's like, how is she everywhere? And that gets revealed. So now, Interpol lady shows up. Everyone's shooting at everybody. Like, they get in the Nazi sled. They roll through a fucking wall that they guess they can kill with a 70-year-old potato masher. And now they're in these gigantic copper mine, like the D'Antonio or whatever. Who was the guy from fucking Atlas Shrugged? Francisco D'Antonio. His copper consortium. Now here's a thought.
I never thought I would get that reference in this show tonight. Gogs, you just always surprise me.
So now, like
next week, we're going to talk about the Fountainhead.
So they actually address. We'll have to get my wife on for that episode. I never read that, but she has. It's about buildings, right?
Is Liz an objectivist?
Huh?
Is Liz?
No.
Oh,
She's just a misogynist. So, so now. At some point, they do address stuff like Ryan Reynolds looks at The Rock, goes, "Why are you shooting at the cops? You're one of them." He's like, "I'm one of you right now." I'm okay. And then someone's like, "How'd they get the car down here? A piece of the time?" It's like, there was tunnels. Okay. Now the tunnels ended a waterfall, so I don't know how but fine. Maybe they Dukes of Hazzarded it in there.
Did you never play Legend of Zelda, you idiot?
You know what? I never played the stash of car scene from Legend of Zelda. But you're right. Everything's behind a waterfall. So we're going through there. People die. Like people are live firing like antique ammunition at each other. Like not only. So I guess Hitler wanted to save his Supermobile. And he also wanted to save like 3 Nazi Gators, like 6-wheelers, because they're artistic. No, he got them Hitler Yeezys. So they fly out through the waterfall. They do whatever. There's a sort of a fucking fugitive moment where the Interpol lady's like, shucks, and can't get through water to arrest anybody. And The Rock. So the whole time, The Rock and Ryan Reynolds have been bickering. The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot have formed this tenuous alliance to fly through a waterfall. And now Ryan Reynolds has the egg, and he's like, "Oh my God, where's The Rock?" Rock sink, and he goes into the water to find The Rock. Then The Rock's like, "Hey, I'm here, dummy. You must have loved me." And then they try and play it off. And then you get the Shyamalan-esque twist, which I sort of thought about, like in the prison. Like, wouldn't it be fun? If maybe The Rock is a bad guy, I was like, but no, he's selling
thought of it because everything that happens up to this point in the narrative is so flimsy that there has to be something going on.
Yeah, like I was like, maybe I had two working theories. Gal Gadot is the good guy the whole time, because why would they make a woman a bad guy? And maybe The Rock is the bad, and they flip it, or possibly in cahoots. So turns out it's cahoots. Yeah. Which actually makes things earlier in the movie make a lot more sense.
Can we talk about though, like how shitty this like parlor scene is, where they go back? Like, how familiar are you with Knights of the Old Republic?
Very.
Okay, spoilers, I guess. When you find out you're Revan and they go back and show you all the parts where you should have figured it out, it's like, I'm fucking stupid. I've been doing this for 45 hours and figured it out. When they do it in this movie, they go back and show you things from different perspectives that you would never be able to put together.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, which I fucking hated that.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is never going to overhear the fact that Gal Gadot was like, "I love you," like whispering in the ear, and like he like diddled her one time,
and that's why she can beat him up, and like, I get it, but like the way you
but they're in
is...
such cahoots that she actually shocked his testicles. Like,
I mean,
fucking.
Well, she's probably tired of getting fucking ran through with whatever he's got down there.
Yeah, it's probably a mess.
I really want to see The Rock's dick. Like, part of me really wants it to be like really small because he's got so much going on for him. You know, he's like super hot, he's super rich, he's all muscular.
I can promise you,
fucking humongous.
It's got to be huge. It's like fucking tree trunk.
Yeah, even if it is small, it fucks big, so it doesn't make a difference. Like,
wow, I like that.
Like he's packing like Finn Balor type meat.
Yeah, like there's just there's a lot of momentum behind whatever's there, enough to get it where it needs to be.
Totally off topic. I saw a really funny.
It's like dropping a penny off the Empire State Building type thing.
Yeah. It's gonna kill somebody.
Totally off topic. I saw a very funny wrestling meme where it was like a sign that said "meeting for wrestlers that everyone universally loves," and then inside it was just a table with Finn Balor. That's pretty funny.
So now there's the big twist. Ryan Reynolds gets attached to a tree, and then we are cross-cut to an Egyptian
way to put it.
Yeah, so now we're cross-cut to an Egyptian wedding where the 3 eggs. So the whole thing, this race for these 3 eggs, I think the payoff was 800 million. I think was the bounty on these. So they get delivered. There's another double cross them up. So then I was like, maybe these guys, this is all big setup just to catch this Egyptian.
Yeah, pause. What did they gain from setting this guy up? Like, did I miss that?
Yeah.
Just like the chance to steal the eggs again and sell them again. They already got paid.
That, like, this increases your chance of getting caught by Interpol by about 1,000,000%.
Can I just say that this part of the movie had the funniest joke I thought in the entire movie? Like, I actually laughed out loud during this. So, like, the Egyptian king or whatever, whoever, Egyptian, like, wealthy dude, he bought these eggs to impress his daughter at her wedding. And he unveils them, and like she's like, "Oh, that's cool." And then Ed Sheeran plays, and she
loses her mind. Ed Sheeran was funny in this.
I thought that was hilarious. Like he went through all this trouble, spent like $800 million on those eggs, and she didn't even give a fuck. Like it's like buying a cat a nice toy, and they play with the fucking plastic on the
Sean, I'm gonna do a little work for the movie here and say by calling Interpol, right? I think it's almost like a Logan Lucky. Like Interpol has now got the eggs back,
and they're just going to.
What do they care?
Up on anything?
Why chase them down now? Like why? Like they have the eggs.
But
ostensibly,
they're chasing them down at the end of the movie. They're still chasing them.
Well, because Ryan Reynolds dimes them out.
Because Ryan Reynolds dimes them out, right? But if anything, you could just sort of be like, we don't need to devote. We'll keep them on the radar, but we don't need to actively pursue them. Right? Maybe that's it.
But like if I robbed your house, I wouldn't then go outside and then leave the shit there and then call the cops. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that's whatever. It's a very minor quibble.
Also, one little thing.
No, but if you robbed his house and you sold it to somebody you don't like, then you might call the cops on that person. Be like, this dude has all this stolen shit.
Right, but would you hang out there and wait for him to show up?
If it was a nice party,
sit across the street in your car with just like binoculars.
Did you see the fucking drip The Rock was wearing?
Oh yeah, he looked pretty hot in that scene. I want to say one thing though. I thought that scene with Ed Sheeran was really funny, but the button on the Ed Sheeran scene, we need to put a moratorium on the "I'm so and so bitch." That is like 10 years old. It's stale.
Also, I could have done without the Game of Thrones thing too. Like
But it's like, I'm so-and-so, bitch. Like, it's been done. Like, let's retire that one, guys. Like, it's enough. It was funny when Chappelle did it, like a million years ago.
And it was funny when Bob Barker did it before that.
Oh, yeah, shit. You're right. That is probably the first example of that. Yeah, that was funny. But, like, it's over now. It's had its moment. Let's move past it. Honestly, you could have just ended with him getting... You didn't even need to show him getting arrested. Like, him showing up was funny. Like, that was fun. That was a funny scene.
So then, Ryan Reynolds shows up on their boat that they've gotten with all their money, and Ryan Reynolds is like, "Yo, I've frozen all your assets. I'm assuming steal the Mona Lisa. I need just a 3-person job."
Ryan Reynolds is eating pork sashimi.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's eating raw. He's like, what he's saying? Like this. He's like this Gouda.
Laughed at.
This Gouda's gone bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dude,
this
I
cheese is
legitimately
terrible.
like cringed out of my chair, like thinking about eating raw pork. Like, oh my god.
So he recruits them. Interpol shows up. They get away on some sort of semi-rigid inflatable instead of just using the boat they have. And now they are going to go rob the Louvre in Red Notice too. Oh, and you see all of their files get stamped with Red Notice.
Yeah, because like they're not going to be conspicuous when the three most beautiful people on the planet, one of whom is a walking golem, show up. Like nobody's
Yeah,
gonna, they're not going to stick out at all.
Yeah, there's a man tank here. He's in the
Yeah, there's a man tank here with two angels. Should we do something about that?
It's about as inconspicuous as a fucking volcanic eruption, but sure, let's go. And that's Red Notice, which, you know, let's talk about Red Notice. I'm going to start with, if this movie was an R-rated movie and it let Ryan Reynolds be like R-rated Deadpool Ryan Reynolds and let The Rock be R-rated Rock and had like some more like death and violence and like some dirtier jokes, I think I would have liked it a lot more. I feel like I wanted to like this movie a lot. Yeah. And it just felt super sanitized. Like what we were talking about earlier with the Marvel stuff. It felt super. It was like made under the precise eyes of the MPAA to just be like very safe, very sanitized.
I'll say like, I know we've talked about it. I really enjoyed the action scenes in this movie for the most part.
Me too.
I thought this was one of the worst scripts of a major-ish movie that I can think of. Like the central conceits are stupid. Like I like Ryan Reynolds, and I think Ryan Reynolds is a really good actor. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, The Voices, where he works for the meatpacking plant.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Like he's great in that movie. But this is like they're just like, oh, what do I do? It's like, oh, just be Ryan Reynolds, and it's like a Joss Whedon script almost. There are so many quips, like it just never ends. Like everything is a fucking quip, and it's like, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish.
No, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like I was exhausted by the fucking like, oh god, please stop, whatever that was. Like, please stop with the fucking shtick.
What?
Like, and that weird like, it's very kind of like late '90s, early 2000s, like not gay panic. I don't know how to put the kind of like bromance relationship into this, but there's that weird like kind of gay subtext to a lot of the jokes that's just kind of there.
Well, it's not. I don't know if it's gay subtext as much as it's just like men aren't in touch with their feelings, like they're not allowed to like.
It's kind of really hack. You know what I mean? Like at this point, it's like, oh, we're wives. You love me. I love you. No, I don't love you. I love me. And it's just like, all right, we fucking got it. Just. If the movie led up to it, like Brokeback Mountain, and it was just them banging in a tent, like I'd be into it. But like I thought the script was atrocious.
Well, I think here's the problem, right? Because Alex sent us the big list of everything else this guy worked on. This guy's directed a lot of stuff I really like.
Fucking Dodgeball, man.
He didn't write it. He directed it. He wrote Red Notice. He directed We're the Millers, Red Notice. So his direction isn't bad. Like the action sequences are good. He directed Dodgeball. Like he didn't write. The only thing he's written of that lot was Red Notice, if I'm looking at this correctly. He did write Terry Tate Office Line. Oh no, I take it back. I'm sorry. He did write Dodgeball. I was wrong.
I mean,
I don't know what happened. But Dodgeball was an R-rated, right?
Yeah, Dodgeball was super R-rated.
The movie has this like almost like what do you want to call it? Like Judd Apatow thing, where it feels like it wasn't scripted as much as it was like, hey, just go out there and riff for an hour, and we'll cut around it. You know what I mean?
To me, it felt a lot like the Ghostbusters remake, like where it's like every scene kind of went on a bit too long because they're riffing. Alec,
I want Alec's thoughts.
I thought this movie was a blast. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Everybody's charming in it. Everybody's doing their stuff. I feel bad for the Interpol agent because she's going to lose her job. She spent like $10 million chasing these guys around the world.
Think about it. Her budget, like
expensive locales, and she has nothing to show for it. I guess she has the eggs back, but like, so it started in Sardinia.
Yeah.
And then it was in like Bali. Then they were in
Russia.
Well, she wasn't in Russia.
She didn't go to Russia.
Oh, you're talking about where Interpol went. Wait, didn't she show up there to Russia too?
No.
Oh, okay.
She wouldn't have had a reason to. They were already.
But she put them. Okay, good point. Okay, go ahead.
But she like has taken this like team of people to all these exotic locales around the world. They hit probably 5 of the 7 continents.
Yeah, and with all that
that's a
set
lot
up and
of
shit.
and you're talking about overtime expenses.
She better kept a lot of receipts. She's gonna have to get a lot of PO numbers when she gets back to
meals.
the office.
You're talking about filling out expense reports.
Her
breakfast
unit got infiltrated.
Breakfast doesn't count, but you can claim your lunch and dinner.
I feel like Alec has stumbled on the side quill to this movie that I want to see.
The guy that's like processing all that shit, like all the requisitions and stuff.
Oh, like Johnny Dollar, forensic accountant who's trying to figure out how this Interpol lady botched everything.
You know who would be perfect for it? The guy that plays the energy vampire in What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, yeah.
No, Colin Robinson.
That guy's great. That'd be perfect.
Nope, that makes no.
Well, she 100% Alex right. She spent more than whatever the bounty was. They're north of $300 million for this fucking operation.
Yeah, and even at the end of the movie, they still didn't get him. Even though Ryan Reynolds told her where they were going to be and was there too.
And she decided instead of taking, a helicopter like a normal human being with dignity, they would just go in boats.
Well, I figured she was a smoker. I thought it was a callback to Waterworld for us. I thought that.
Yeah, they put that in there for us.
For us.
The guys who watched Waterworld 2 weeks ago, like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, on a service that they don't own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought overall it was too long. But like every movie is too long.
It was too
like
long.
there are almost no movies that are not too long nowadays.
This was just under 2 hours.
Yeah, it was like an hour 57, I think. Maybe an hour 47. Something.
There's no need for a movie like this to be like over.
Should be a tight 90 minutes.
Well, it was a half an hour of title cards.
Yeah, they did love the title. I felt like pace-wise, like the movie felt like it should have been over after they got out of the Russian prison. It felt like a second movie after that. It was very like pacing-wise.
Yeah,
very
the
odd.
pacing was weird, but like I was never like bored to tears like I am with a lot of these kind of like
I wasn't bored.
All right. Anything else before we get into our 5-knuckle shuffles?
Alec, do you think it would be? Well, actually, you liked it. Do you think you would like it any more if it was an R-rated movie?
If it was R-rated, you mean?
I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. I'm sure it would have been just as enjoyable for me. I don't think I would have liked it less. Like,
I think Gogs just wants it to be Deadpool 3.
Yeah,
I
kind of want
Deadpool. Like, I love Deadpool. Like, Deadpool's incredible. Like,
yeah, I love Deadpool.
It's one of like Deadpool and Deadpool 2 are like 2 of like the best comic book movies because they're so fucking like
agree.
Ridiculous and out there, and also like true to the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to Sean's point earlier, like they're their own things. They don't feel like the Marvel movies, like at all.
And they'll never happen again.
Probably not. Well, I don't know. Deadpool 3 is getting written by the Bob's Burgers people. I bet it's going to be funny.
But it won't be like a gross out movie in the way that the other 2 were.
There's not gonna be like he's not gonna get pegged.
No,
yeah, I doubt that. Yeah.
Have they even made an R-rated movie like Disney since they took over Fox and Marvel and everything else?
Fox has had to have made an R-rated movie.
I don't know. I have no idea. All right, well, let's get into 5-knuckle shuffles. Alec.
I'm gonna give it a 7. I enjoyed it a lot. I like the chemistry between everybody. I thought Gal Gadot was good in it. Like she's still not like a great actress, but she wasn't distracting or bad or anything. Like I thought that it seemed like she was actually enjoying herself being in a movie she could enjoy herself with co-stars who are fun and a script that's not totally like buttoned down and serious and
growling.
Yeah, and overly like tense and mean.
Yeah. But I thought it was fun. Like everybody's good in it. There's that guy, I can't stand him in anything he's in. The guy who played Soda Vice.
Yeah.
Like
I
he
didn't
was in.
recognize him.
He's been in a bunch of. He was in Silicon Valley. He was like one of the guys who comes and tries to invest in him, and he shows up a few times in the later seasons. But he's like just a scumbag in that. Like he's just a scumbag in like everything, pretty much.
He's like a Mediterranean Jeremy Piven.
Sure. Yeah, he's
like old Jeremy Piven.
He's Greek IRL. His name was like Chris Diamantopoulos or something.
See,
like
look,
that.
I can pick out nationalities, not like Gogs. I said Mediterranean, spot on.
Mediterranean is not a nationality.
What did I get wrong?
The Russian and Spanish
Russian.
thing.
Oh, they're just all weird whites. That's fine. No.
That is fair. That is technically accurate. The best kind of accurate.
You're right, Alec. It's not a national. It's a region. I nailed the region. Come on, Greek, Mediterranean. Come on, right there.
I nailed the hemisphere.
Yes.
Well, technically, Spain and parts of Russia are both in Europe, so I guess God
Hey!
also.
This guy's played Mo in the Three Stooges movie.
What?
That Three Stooges movie they made in 2012. This guy was Mo.
I am shocked that we haven't reviewed that fucking movie.
I thought you meant the old Johnny Knoxville and Sean Hayes and Will Sasso.
No, this is that one.
About.
The Farrelly Brothers Will Sasso movie, where Will Sasso was Curly. Right?
Yeah.
He did. Sean Hayes is Larry. Chris Diamond Polos was Mo, and Will Sasso
Johnny
was Curly.
Knoxville was Mo. Huh? Am I thinking of something else? Am I getting two? How am I getting two
Three
recent
Stooges,
Three Stooges movies confused? How? What the fuck?
I didn't know there was a second Three Stooges movie. If I'm being frank,
has nothing to do with
positive. I am positive there's one with Johnny Knoxville as Mo.
looking
Unless
it up.
like that's like a fever dream that I
Yeah, I
have.
was gonna say you could just be having a fantasy,
Just
bro.
like- Wishing
nothing
against hope.
to do with anything, but I like The Ringer that Johnny Knoxville is in. I think that movie's fun.
That movie
yeah.
is fun. I like him in in Walking Tall. We loved him in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 7. Like
Alec, Johnny Knoxville was in talks to play Mo in that movie, but he didn't get the part.
Ow. Huh.
That is
I would have felt
deep
like
knowledge.
I would have felt like at that point in his like that point in time, like how did somebody beat him for that? Because he was like,
I know. Well, I'm looking
everything
at,
then, not like starring, but he was in like everything.
I put it.
Could be just he wanted too much money.
Maybe.
Honestly, I probably would have saw it if it was Johnny Knoxville in it at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this movie was fun. I didn't find it offensive. It was like charming. I didn't have to pay attention to it. Like it was perfectly acceptable Netflix original drivel. It wasn't offensive. Like I've seen way worse things on Netflix. Like I've seen way worse things not on Netflix.
We've watched worse things from Netflix on this show.
I would say
Netflix made the Full Metal Alchemist movie that we watched.
Oh god!
This is like.
Oh my god! How did I
like,
forget about that when I was talking about live action?
This is like
movies?
upgrade compared to that.
No doubt.
No doubt there.
TJ.
I'm gonna give this movie a 5 for me, dog. I didn't hate this movie. I like the action sequences a lot. I felt like the cast was okay, but I felt like my main problem with this movie is it's a comedy, and I didn't find it funny. Like I didn't think the comedy landed. And to Sean's point about the script, I think like when your comedy doesn't land in your comedy, it makes you pay attention more to the actual storyline, and the storyline's kind of a mess. And it just didn't work for me. But I wasn't. You know, a lot of times we're watching movies on the show. Like, I actively just fucking hate what's going on. I never, hated this movie. I was just kind of indifferent to it, I guess. Like, I was waiting for it to, grab me. Because, again, I thought the intro was pretty well done. Every time they did an action set piece, I really thought it was cool. It was shot well. And I liked pretty much all of those parts of the movie. Like, I guess I'm like Donald Trump watching fucking Bloodsport. I'm, fast-forwarding to the action parts, but to Gogs's point, I do feel like it was kind of neutered. Like this wasn't, and I don't know the history of the production of this movie, but I'm gonna guess, and this is just a guess. I don't know. I'm just going off the cuff here. I'm gonna guess this is a movie not originally paid for by Netflix. This is probably a movie that was produced and then later picked up by Netflix. Probably something that got caught up in coronavirus. Because this movie
It was originally, I think it was Universal.
Yeah, because this to me seems like a movie like this isn't a Disney Plus movie, but it's so safe it easily could have been. Like Disney could have bought this and put this on Disney Plus, and you wouldn't have batted an eye. Because it feels a lot like a Disney movie, and I don't mean like a kids movie. I mean like they're kind of like family,
a safe action movie.
Yeah. And I don't know. It didn't. The like I said, the funny bits didn't land for me, but I didn't hate it. I just think
felt like some of those jokes tried a little too hard.
Oh, they absolutely did. But that's why it didn't land. Like it's not. I don't find that funny. Like I don't know. You call somebody gay in one scene, I'd laugh probably. But I'm very base.
Yeah.
Like I need like gross out.
It's more dick jokes for me.
There's no poop jokes, and
it's that kind of like Robin Williams style of comedy where it's just like I'll throw out 1,000 jokes a minute like a fucking helicopter machine gun, and hopefully 2 of them will hit. You know what I mean?
There was a few of those like multi-fired jokes, like when Ryan Reynolds had some joke about like the most embarrassing thing ever, and he's like the Vin Diesel's audition tape for Cast. It exists.
Yeah.
And I thought that was funny because I have already read that meme. I already know about that, and I was like, oh, I do know what he's talking about. That is pretty funny. But like, I don't know. Again, I'm bouncing around the room, but to Alex's point, it's like not offensive. Hell, what are you doing? Get out of there! Why? Don't go back there. You're gonna knock shit over. Oh, my cat. Oh no! Jesus Christ. Sorry.
My balls.
No, but no, to Alex's point, like it's totally not offensive. Like it's just, I said this to Sean. I think I might have said this to everybody before we started recording. But like, it felt like a movie kind of made by like an AI. Like this is a movie that's like a crowd pleaser for everybody, and it's not like, I don't know. I need a little bit more edge, I guess. I need a little bit.
Guess what, buddy? You're part of everybody. It should have pleased you too. You're part of the crowd.
I guess, but like, and it did. There were aspects of it that I did like. Again, I didn't absolutely hate the movie. This isn't getting a 1 or a 2. But yeah, it's gonna just fade away for me. I'm not gonna remember this in a couple of months easily. So,
do you want a better movie on Netflix that's similar to this? I think it's called Six Underground. It also stars Ryan Reynolds.
Is that Michael Bay?
That's a Michael Bay movie.
Is it
right?
Michael Bay? Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
That's
a better movie.
You watched it. I think you talked about it on the show. I think.
Yeah, I watched it. That's why I'm telling you it's a better movie than this.
I know, but I think you brought it up on the show. Is what I said.
It's fun. It's more fun than this.
Yeah. Is it about the making of the Sneaker Pimp song?
It's a great song.
Wow.
Sure. A bidding war for this movie involved a number of major Hollywood studios, including Sony, Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Universal, with Universal winning out. So it was announced on February 9th, 2018, that Universal, with Legendary Pictures, had won the rights to it. So that's almost 4 years ago. And the coronavirus, I'm sure, did play a part in it. But this movie's been in production for like 4 years.
Holy shit.
That's crazy. Movies is crazy.
Did you say me?
Yes, go, Sean.
I'm going to give it a 6, just because I was
way higher than I thought.
I wasn't bored. You know what I mean? And I know that's like a low mark or like a low bar, but like there's so many of these movies we watch, especially these like movies that have been picked up by somebody else, are just fucking like just super tedious. Like this is kind of like, it's tedious in a very kinetic way, almost like a bottle of Adderall wrote the script. Like it's just like a million miles an hour. And the best way I could kind of describe this movie, I think, as everybody was talking about it and how like safe it is, it feels like a movie that you would watch with like your girlfriend's dad around Christmas time. Yes, and he'd be like, oh man, that was so good, wasn't it? You'd be like, yeah, it was fun. It's like, oh man, I love that guy. I fucking love The Rock. You know, he used to be a wrestler. Like, yeah, I heard that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know, it's fucking, it's a movie. It's perfectly cromulent. Yeah. But like the action is fun. especially that tracking shot. I wish they would have finished up because it was like that tracking shot. The half of it that's in there is so good. It's like fucking the beginning of Casino Royale, where it's doing that 3/4 overhead while he's running. But this, like, I don't want to undersell it, but I think this script is fucking terrible. Like, it's the reveal doesn't make any sense. The twist is like wholly unnecessary. I mean, you could get to the same place by having Rock actually being the profiler, and then he falls in love with Gal Gadot. They have like actual on-screen chemistry instead of you being told after the fact that they have chemistry. And then he quits being an FBI guy. He catches them at the end, and then they turn him or something. You know what I mean? There are other ways to go about this than that twist. But like, I wasn't bored, so it's a 6. Like, it's not unmemorable, like, but it's just it's just a movie. You know, it's safe and like whatever. It's fine. Yeah. Gobbles.
It's gonna be a 6 for me, as well. I everything everybody said, right? It's just like that Free Guy movie. Like, there's some stuff in here I like.
Also a banger.
There's some stuff in there I like. There's some stuff in here that's like, it's just like overly feels safe, right? Like, and look at doing a little digging into what 20th Century Fox has made. I know, but this is not 20th Century Fox, it's a Netflix thing. But under Disney's ownership, they made Vacation Friends, which is definitely not a safe PG movie.
Yeah, that was funny. That was very funny.
I don't know. Like, I like Ryan Reynolds. I like The Rock. I like Gal Gadot in this. I thought the direction isn't bad. The action sequences are a lot of fun. But yeah, to Sean's point, the script is just, well, to Sean, like, the script is terrible, and the jokes, and to TJ's point, the jokes aren't funny enough to cover for, because if you took like 21 Jump Street and you were like, wow, the plot of this is dumb, you're like, I don't give a shit, because Jonah Hill and fucking C-Tates are fucking destroying it, right? Like, you took the other guys and you look at this plot, you're like, this is also dumb. But you're like, no, but these guys it's just hilarious.
Well, yeah, but the problem is, I think, too, like, heist movies in general are hard to be good. Yeah. And just like that sentence was hard to be good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can think of like 2 good heist movies, like Sorcerer and Heat, and I could tell you 1,000 bad ones. You know what I mean?
So
Sexy Beast is a good heist movie.
What's the one I like with Jimmy Caan?
Ocean's 11.
Thief, yeah, Ocean 11.
Thief, yeah.
Thief, like, Thief is good. Logan Lucky's a good heist movie.
Oh, yeah, fair, okay.
But like, and Logan Lucky's legitimately funny.
To Sean's point, there are a lot of bad ones.
There's a ton of, heist movies are really dependent on no one pulling on. They got to make sure they have all of their strings like pretty fucking squared away, because once you pull them, like, the thing that ruined, like, I'll be frank, I loved the Ocean's 11 movie until one of our buddies ruined it for me, and I was like, oh, that's not fun anymore. Because I like how clever a heist movie is when it's done right.
Yeah.
But this is, it felt like Uncharted. It felt like, no, but I will, God, this is the best role I've ever seen Gal Gadot in. This movie I don't know how it made a shit ton of money on Netflix. I guess it just has a ton of views, so that sort of speaks.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows how that works.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think. Yeah, I have no idea how that works.
But
like how
it wasn't boring. It wasn't offensive, and it was, the set pieces were a lot of fun. It's just like it was also just very, like, I like double cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
They are good.
They are what they are. And that's what this is. This is the double cheeseburger from McDonald's of movies.
Nice. So, what's next month's theme? Because we
still got
November.
No, we're not.
We got one.
I got my pick, I think.
Draft day.
It's gonna be draft day.
We have one more week.
I almost pivoted to A Perfect World, but I think we've talked draft day up enough that we have to watch that.
A Perfect World is directed by Clint Eastwood, isn't it?
Before he went crazy.
It's Kevin Costner and like a little kid or something, if I remember.
Yeah,
right.
where he talks about his pecker.
Yeah. All right, so it's draft day.
It is draft day.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
hell yeah! I can't wait. All right.
What is December's theme? Did we land on a December theme?
December's theme. I think it's stupid. Hold on. I think you suggested this, Gogs, and I hate it, but I don't have anything better.
Wow, just getting fucking dragged. Go ahead.
Final Distemperation.
Final Distemperination's a great.
Why don't we just do Yuletide carols and they'll all be fucking movies starring Yul Brynner?
Oh, or a famous Carol.
Or Carol Channing.
Yeah.
So in Gogs' one, we have to watch all the Final Destination movies.
Yeah, I think Final Destination.
That sounds awful.
I mean, it would kind of tie into like us when we watched all the Saw movies. I'm all right.
Think about it. We get a week off for the Molies.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's right. Yeah.
Jesus gets a pick for his birthday. Right?
Shout out to Jesus.
We all get to watch two Final
He's just gonna pick
movies.
Fiddler on the Roof again.
Yeah. I mean, we can do that. We can do. If someone has a better theme, go for
Final
it.
Destination is fine. Like,
no, it's final. You gotta say it right, Sean. It's Final December Nation.
Oh Christ!
Oh Lord! You know, I've never seen any of those movies. Like,
my pick is 2. Then
I've never seen any.
Which
of
one's
them.
the one with the logging truck?
2.
Okay,
Okay, I'm gonna spoil it for everybody. I haven't seen them, but I've seen the first one. But you guys remember the first one, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
At least
first one's the airplane, right?
Know the scene where it starts with the airplane exploding?
Yeah.
So the last movie ends with that airplane exploding. It's a big fucking circle.
Oh,
What?
fuck.
Oh no!
I was gonna hope that Alec was like, I've never seen it, but I've read the
books.
the made for novels.
It has a surprisingly deep and rich lore.
Yeah, I've read all of the Random House novelizations.
Isn't that the kid from SLC Punk in the first one? What's his name? Fuck.
So.
Devin Sawa.
Sawa.
Yeah.
Ali Larder's in the first one.
Isn't Devin Sawa the guy, Sean, that's in fucking The Fanatic?
The Fanatic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, wait.
Yes.
Now I'm dying to know if that was always their plan from Jump Street, because like technology would. Technology would. I'll give him some credit. Stop.
6 movies when they.
I'm just saying.
This.
Like if they managed to make it so the technology and stuff all did like it all tracks and makes sense in the correct chronological order, then shout out to them for having that level of vision.
There's no way, literally no way. They made those things like every other cheap like horror movie franchise. Like the first one was like super successful, and then they're like, all right, make another one, and they probably didn't even have a fucking script ready yet, and they're just like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, make another one on your same $15 million budget.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So you think it's like Futurama where they were sneaking things in from the ending of the show into the fucking intro of the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they have that level of thought. I doubt it.
I doubt it very highly. All right. Well, next week draft day, the rise and fall of the Cleveland Browns,
and then Alex taking a month off. Back for the Mollies.
All right, everybody, eat your own ass. Enjoy the turkey and all that shit.
Oh, Final Death. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Hold the phone.
We got breaking news.
Well, shit. Final Destination. A couple of them are written by the same guy who wrote The One, and that movie fucking slaps.
We might have
fucking rules,
dude. We might have some good stuff then.
Yeah,
The One was awesome.
The One was awesome.
The One was really awesome.
He directed Final Destination, then he directed The One, then he directed Final Destination 3. So you know what? I'll take it back. I'll watch the first one.
Hell yeah!
See if it's as good as The One.
I'll pick the third one.
Was fucking tremendous.
I just remember the commercials. Like, there's one where like a NASCAR tire.
Maybe he got the idea to make it a flat circle thing after making The One.
There you go.
Oh, maybe.
If it's a shared The One universe, then I'm into that too.
Oh man,
I hope Jet Li's in these.
The two guys from fucking American movies show up again in these movies to talk about.
Jet Li is actually death.
What's that? Jet Li is death? I like that.
He's coming around collecting debts.
His name is Death Lee.
Yeah.
God, I love that movie.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, he fucking ends up in Sardaukar at the.
Yeah, he's on Seleucus Secundus.
Seleucus Secundus. Yeah, that's
just fighting everyone from every dimension and timeline on a death ziggurat. Like
that movie fucking ruled.
God, I wish they'd picked that movie up from there.
And then it ended with some fucking Papa Roach song or so. Oh,
yeah, he's like, now you are Woolah, bitch.
Oh, so good. All right, everybody, gobble gobble, bitch.
Hell yeah.
Gobble gobble, motherfucker. Go watch Thanksgiving. That movie rocks.
Yeah. The turkey had a fake mustache. Bye.
That scene. Oh my god, that scene. They're at the dinner table and they don't realize that it's not the father. It's this fucking giant turkey with a mustache. Cogs, have you watched that?
No, I need to.
Oh, it's so fucking funny.